Today we're going to go over Chapter 2, Section 4, which are equations of lines. So this is stuff that you've seen from last year, so it's a little bit of a review, which is the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So this is stuff that you have seen, so I'm just going to run through it. So they want us to write the equation in slope-intercept form. And to write an equation in slope-intercept form, you need to be able to find the y-intercept and the slope. So they may give you two sets of points and you have to figure it out, or you're going to have to be given a line and you're going to have to figure it out from the graph. So the way this works is that if you have the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 over x1, you can either do rise or run or use the points. We're going to use these points to plug them in. So I'm going to write them in first. I am going to choose this to be my x2 and my y2, and this to be my x1 and the y1. Again, it doesn't matter which one you choose as long as you're consistent. So y2 is -1 minus y1 -2 over -4 minus 0. So that's going to give me a positive, so that's going to be 1 over -4. That's going to be your slope. Now, how do I put it into slope-intercept form? It's going to be y equals -1 over 4x. And let's figure out what the y-intercept is. If you get a graph like it is right here, you can look at where the x is equal to 0, and then whatever the y value is, that's going to be your y-intercept, so -2. Another way you could do this is you're going to use the point-slope form. Like I was saying, guys, if you don't have a graph, the way you figure this out is with point-slope form. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. So in point-slope, you're going to grab the y1 and the x1 and the slope. Those are the things that you're going to have to plug in order to solve for it. So if you're not given a graph, which in this case you are, but if you happen not to, you would plug in y minus, I'm just going to choose these points because those are the ones that I chose originally, but you can do either one. So it's going to be y minus -2 equals the slope of -1/4 x minus 0. Those just happen to be the numbers that I chose originally. So this y minus -2 is going to become y plus 2. I'm going to distribute that 1/4 x. And then when I distribute it to the 0, it's just going to become 0. So I'm going to let it be the way it is. I'll subtract the 2. And then I end up with y is equal to -1 over 4x minus 2. Which again is the same thing as we got with the graph. So you can do it either way, algebraically or from a graph. And just to show you guys that we can do it with any points, I'm going to erase the work we did for the slope real quick. If we were to do it with the other points, we would do y minus -1 equals -1 over 4 x minus -4. So we're going to get y plus 1 equals 1 over 4 x plus 4. And then I can distribute the 1/4 to get y plus 1 equals -1 over 4x minus 4 over 4, which simplifies to 1. So y plus 1 equals -1 over 4x minus 1. When I subtract the 1 on both sides, I still end up with y is equal to -1 over 4 x minus 2. So you get the same thing no matter what numbers you choose. So here they want us to write the equation in slope-intercept form of the line described. Now, keep in mind, for this first one, you have already the y-intercept, 0, 4. So all you have to do is write y is equal the m. Let me write the equation here. Y equals mx plus b. The m, they give it to you here, so 4 over 3 x. And then the b, they already tell you is 0, 4, because remember, that is your y-intercept, and your y-intercept is always 0, number. So for 1a, that would be it. Now for 1b, you have to start with finding the slope, and then you're going to go from point slope to slope-intercept. So step 1 for 1b, I'm going to do a little wiggly to separate them. For 1b is to find the slope. So you do that by doing, I'm going to choose this to be the 2's and these to be the 1's. So 10 minus -6, -4 minus 0. So that's going to become 16 over -4, which is just -4 over 1, or just -4. Awesome. And then we're going to put it into point slope. And point slope was the formula I gave you guys before. So I'm going to choose y. So we're going to choose a 0, -6. So it's going to be y minus -6 equals -4 x minus 0. So it's y plus 6 equals -4 x. When I distribute, I'm going to get 4x and then 0. I'll subtract the 6. And I get y is equal to -4x minus 6. Now this will be your final answer. Note, I did it the long way, just in case you don't get your y-intercept in the order pair. In this case, you did get the order pair. So you could get the slope and look here and say, well, here I have the y-intercept, so you can just write y is equal to -4x minus 6. It's just sometimes you're not going to be given the y-intercept right off the bat. Sometimes you're going to have to find it. So this is point slope form, which is what I've been talking about to show you how they work together. Now, if you know the slope of a line and the coordinates of a point of the line, you can use the point slope form to find an equation of the line. So what I was saying, you're not always going to be given the y-intercept. So the point slope form of the equation is y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1, where x1 and y1 are the coordinates of a point on the line, and m is the slope of the line. Again, so the numbers that always are going to be plugged in are the m, the x1, and the y1. Everything else you're going to leave the way it is. So the y and the x that don't have any numbers are the letters that will remain as x and y. So here we have example 2. They want us to write an equation of the line through point 6, -2 with the slope of -4. So awesome. This is our x1. This is our y1. I'm going to write the formula so you guys have it. So y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1, and then this is your slope, so this is your m. Now I'm going to write it in both ways. I'm going to write it in point slope, and I'm going to change it into slope intercept so you guys get used to the practice, because for the test, you guys will be asked to put it in slope intercept form. So this will become y minus -2 equals -4 x minus 6. Now the y minus -2 will become y plus 2. I'm going to distribute that -4, so it'll be -4x plus 24. I'll subtract 2 on both sides, and I'm left with y is equal to -4x plus 22. Now, if you would have left it in point slope, it should look like this. Y plus 2 equals -4 x minus 6. I would accept either this one after you simplify the y minus -2, or I would accept this one before you simplify the minus -2. Ideally, you want to simplify to have the least amount of errors, but either one would be correct. So for 2a and 2b, they want you to write the equation in slope-intercept form of the line from the following problems. Now, notice how this is exactly what I have been doing the entire time. We're going to plug it into point slope. I'm going to write the point slope formula right here so you guys have it. So it's going to be, this is my x1 and this is my y1. So it's going to be y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 2. So I'm going to get this to be y minus 3 equals, I'm going to distribute 1/2 x minus 2 over 2. That's going to become 1. So y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 1. I'll add the 3 on both sides and get y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2. So that's going to be my answer for 2a. Now 2b passes through the points -2, -1 with the slope of -3. This is your x1 and this is your y1. So I'm going to say y minus -1 equals -3, x minus -2. Now everything that has a minus negative, this is going to become a positive, this is going to become a positive. So it's y plus 1 equals -3, x plus 2. Now I can go ahead and distribute that -3 to the x and to the 2 to get y plus 1 equals -3x minus 6. I will subtract the 1 and get y is equal to -3x minus 7. So one way to find the slope would be to pick points. A good set of points to pick are points that overlap. So kind of those 2 points. So I can choose the point 0, 12 and the point 6, 2. You can find the slope by the first way using the slope formula. So 12 minus 2 over 0 minus 6. All right, to finish this off, we're going to get here 10 over -6, and you can simplify this to 5 over -3. Now, when you do that, you have already the y-intercept because it's one of the points you chose. So you can say y is equal to -5 over 3x plus 12. That is one way of solving the problem. Another would be to pick those 2 points and do rise over run and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we run 1, 2, 3. So that would give us rise of 5 and a run of 3. And again, we notice the y-intercept is already at the graph, so you can just rewrite the equation the same way. The third way would be if you picked another set of points. I don't know which ones would be in this graph. You can plug these 2 points and use the point slope formula. I'm going to choose these points right here with the point slope formula. So you can do y minus 2 equals the slope of 5 over 3, x minus 6. So I'm going to get y minus 2 equals -5 over 3x plus 30 over 3. That's going to give me y minus 2 equals -5 over 3x plus 10. I'll add the 2 on both sides, and I end up with y is equal to -5 over 3x plus 12. So you will get the same answer no matter which way you do it. Now it is important that you know both ways because the y-intercept may not be perfectly like it is right here at a number. It may be in between 2 numbers.